Okay. Uh, so today I wanted to talk about why people often censor discussions of religion and politics, and also why it is harmful. Why I believe it is actually harmful to censor discussions on religion and politics. Um, I mean, on the surface, it is kind of obvious. Um, Religion and politics are highly controversial issues, unfortunately, when they really shouldn't be. Um, really, in America, when we're talking about things like religion and politics, they are closely related with issues like social issues, like pertaining to mistreatment, racism against non white people, and so on. And this is controversial because there are so many racists in America that want to basically, and when I say racists, I don't even mean, um, you know, overt, hardcore KKK member racists. I'm mostly talking about the passive racists who um, their passive racism manifests in a number of different ways. Most of the time, in this context, they want to kind of basically pretend like racism doesn't exist, or they downplay some of the more complex forms of racism and systemic racism, and they want to they'll ignore racism when it happens, but they pay very close attention to whenever someone points it out. And they are offended whenever it's pointed out. Like they will often say, things like, oh, you're obsessed with racism, or not everything's a racial issue, these kinds of um, old platitudes that we've heard a million times from these scumbags. Um, so that's usually how the passive racism manifests is, these like idiots. They just don't want to hear anything that calls out racism wherever it might be. And so when we're talking about why they censor, and when I say they, so who are we talking about? So in my experience, this happens a lot on like people's discords, message boards in the past, but more discords now. Twitch channels, you can't talk about religion or politics when you go into their Twitch channel and stuff like that. And I'll be honest, most of the people who do this, they're white, and they're essentially just kowtowing to racists who, you know, they they don't they don't have the guts, they don't have the courage to say to these people, hey, guess what? Black Lives Matter. And if you have a problem with Black Lives mattering, then you're a racist. And that's really like the crux of the issue. That's my biggest beef with these people, is that they don't have the courage. It's not so much as they don't like discussions on religion and politics. It's just they're such cowards, and they enjoy a deplorable sense of white privilege because they have the privilege to ignore social issues because they're not adversely affected by it. They quickly take on these social issues if they had a stake in the matter, but they don't. And that's my biggest beef with these scumbags, is that since they don't have a stake in the matter, they don't need to care about issues that can adversely affect non-white people. Now, you could make the argument, I'll play devil's advocate for a minute, that perhaps the topic of their Discord or their Twitch channel isn't relevant to social issues and social justice issues, to religion or politics, and they just want to keep it on focus and on point. Um, and there is some logic to that. However, I'll get into the more pernicious aspects of why, like, avoiding topics of religion and politics is so harmful. But I do want to like kind of have like a caveat here, like if the Discord or the Twitch channel is too big, it can be kind of hard to contain. There's so many people. Um, it can liken itself to trolling. Um, Like, but I see these as like kind of like excuses, honestly. You can make it work. All you have to do is just have moderators, and these people do have moderators. You can ban the people who cause trouble, who are obviously there to just troll. Um, so why is this bad? Why is it bad to censor topics like religion and politics? Basically, because then it allows all the harmful things to just kind of germinate. It allows racism and superstitious thinking to germinate because then you never talk about it. You never talk about how these things are bad. So if you never talk about how these things are bad, then easily gullible, stupid people are going to buy in to those kinds of arguments because they were never taught how to think. They don't think reasonably, and they're not critical thinkers. And I personally experienced this. I went to a Twitch channel, not Twitch channel, a Discord channel, and like I was kind of amazed at how dumb the people there are. I might one day reveal the name of this Discord channel if I feel like it, but at the moment I'll keep it private. But yeah, like I was encountering people who were essentially anti-free speech, anti-free thought, anti-free expression, that they actually want to censor like pieces of artwork, thinking that some pieces of artwork should be banned, should be forbidden, that you shouldn't be allowed to draw or create works of art that they deem to be inappropriate, and even more like more pernicious things like there's this one person who believed that someone should there should be consequences, legal consequences, going to prison for expressing their right to free speech. I'm dead serious, and I was shocked. I was shocked by this. I can go into details at another time if I need to, but no matter what, free speech is free speech. Okay, and we have a society that has free speech. Okay, now we can get into the details later, but like this is like basic stuff. And also other things like innocent until proven guilty. Like there are people from this Discord who were quick to believe allegations without proof, who were withholding, like believed immediately that someone was guilty, and didn't presume innocence. And what I'm saying is that these things manifest because you don't allow discussions on religion and politics, because hey, if you're going to wallow in your ignorance, you're going to stay ignorant for the rest of your life. So that's why, not allowing discussions, not allowing people to talk about religion and politics has pernicious aspects to it. And yes, I understand you can also argue the other way and how there can be bad things that can manifest by allowing these subjects. Okay. Um, so yeah, basically the reason why discussions of religion and politics are not permitted is it mostly manifests among white people. They are cowards and kowtowing to essentially racists in their society, and they don't have the guts, the courage to actually engage with racist people and say to them, no, you're wrong. Now, when I say, allowing discussions of religion and politics, that's very different than tolerating racism. I do not think racism should be tolerated necessarily. Um, not it should not be tolerated. Period. However, you can take a side. You can take a moral side in that we're going to allow discussions of religion and politics, and we're going to tell the racists, no, you're wrong. And if you speak out, against activist groups fighting for people's rights, like Black Lives Matter, hey, you're a racist, and these are the reasons why you're a racist. So, those are some of the things I want to discuss. Hopefully, that kind of clears up, because I think more people need to kind of push. Yes, we need to engage on these issues of religion and politics, because refusing, being so adamant against these discussions because you're so afraid, you're so cowardly and weak, um, is only hurting America. It's not helping it. See you guys later.